What's going on, guys? This is Limitless, and today I want to go over 5 reasons why I think you should build your own PC. Alright, so the first reason why you should consider building a PC is because of the cost. As of right now, the only downside of building a PC is the cost of GPUs right now, which is your graphics card. And every computer pretty much has to have a graphics card, and unfortunately graphics cards right now are pretty expensive, more than it's ever been, at least. But going back to what I said about the cost, it's pretty much way cheaper to build your own PC. With my case, I ended up saving like hundreds of dollars building my own PC, compared to getting like a laptop that produces the same amount of performance that my PC does. And there's a few reasons why PCs are a lot cheaper than laptops, but mainly because laptops aren't really made for performance and quality. A lot of companies tend to try to cram like the cheaper PC parts into a laptop and make it as small as possible, and by doing that it gives it, like a sleeker design, and they pretty much focus more on the design of the laptop, which is why it costs more. So cost would be the first reason it's much cheaper. The second reason would be because building a PC is highly I can't type right now. Highly customizable. I don't even know if I spelled that right, but you can basically do anything when you build your PC in terms of like the parts, and that also goes into cost. Like, you can build a really expensive PC or you can build a really cheap one. And with a laptop, you don't really have like that same amount of customizability. And another thing with customizing your PC is like you can paint parts, you can put LED lights in them, which is very popular. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do. So the third reason why you should build your PC is because it's actually easier than you think. When I first built my PC, it took me about 2 to 3 hours in total, and that was like my first time doing it. Like, keep in mind that I was just following like a YouTube video. I was actually following 2 YouTube videos when I was building. But generally speaking, if you're building a PC that's under like $800 or $1,000, it's pretty simple. Because most of the parts just go in, like literally like Legos. And I know that's exaggerating quite a bit, but it is quite like putting together like building blocks and Legos, because every part that's connected to your motherboard and connected to your case just basically clicks into each other, at least for a majority of the parts. So that would be the third reason. So the fourth reason would have to be about performance. As I said earlier, with comparing like the difference between building a PC and buying a laptop, you'll almost always get greater performance and quality out of building your own PC rather than buying a laptop, because like I said with cost, a lot of companies that build laptops don't generally focus on performance. Unless you're buying a laptop that's over $1,000 possibly, then yeah, you're gonna have greater performance, but not necessarily in the long run. Generally, if you buy a laptop over $1,000, you're just not gonna see the same results with building a PC for $1,000 and over. You're gonna have greater RAM, you're gonna have greater storage. Your CPU and your GPU is most likely going to be having greater performance. So generally all the parts in building your own PC is cheaper, and you're gonna get greater performance rather than a laptop. So the fifth reason why you'd want to build a PC would be for the knowledge and fun. Believe it or not, building a PC, even though it takes a few hours, is actually pretty fun, and you end up learning a lot of cool things about computers. So for me at least, it was a lot of fun, and I learned a ton of things. I learned basically everything about the PC and what the parts do. And now that I've actually owned my PC for quite a long time, like, I've realized a lot of the differences between gaming on computers and gaming on like an Xbox or PlayStation. And I actually am getting like more familiar with a lot of the other companies and parts that computers are basically familiar with, and like what the PC community recommends, and like getting familiar with like what parts I'd want to upgrade in the future, which is another thing that you can't do with laptops really, is upgrade your parts as easily as you can do with building your own PC. But that's just, you know, an extra little bonus thing. But yeah, that's basically it for the video. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below. If you guys are considering buying a PC, I'll try to help you guys out if I can. And yeah, thanks for watching.
With